So for number 7, the first thing I did was identify the y-intercept and the slope, and then I graphed the y-intercept, which is at 0, 4, and then I followed the slope down 3 and right 5, and then up 3 and left 5 to provide at least 3 points. I know you prefer 5, but the graph didn't have enough space for that. And number 8, I did the same thing, identified the slope and the y-intercept. I graphed the y-intercept and then followed the slope down 1, left or right 3, down 1, right 3, and then I went the opposite direction for 5 points. And then the next problems I did were 19 and 22. The first thing that I noticed was the direction of the inequality sign and the fact that it didn't mean less than or equal to, it was just less than, therefore the line is dashed. So I graphed the y-intercept, or -5, and then since I couldn't go any further this way, I decided to go up 9 and left 5. And as I expressed here, the shading will be below the y-intercept because of the direction of the sign. And then for number 22, I started with the same process, identifying the direction of the inequality sign and whether or not there was a line underneath. I started graphing at the y-intercept, or -3. I followed the slope down 1 and right 5, and then up 1 and left 5. And then again here it's a dashed line because of the lack of a or equal to sign. And then I shaded below the y-intercept because of the direction of the sign. And then the last two that I did was 31 and 35. So 31, I used point slope form to find how the line would go through this point and parallel to this equation right here. And then I remember that parallel means that they would have the same slope. So I plugged the set of points into point slope form, and then I distributed the 2/7 or the slope into the parentheses to get y plus 1 equals 1 and 1/7, or 2/7x and 1 and 1/7, or 8/7. And then I had to subtract the 1 over here from both sides to get y equals 2/7x plus 1/7. For this is the slope intercept form. And then I had to convert that into standard form. So I started over here, I multiplied the 7 out so that there was no fractions, and then I subtracted 2x from both sides, and then I had to distribute a -1 into this whole equation so that the x was positive. And then here's the answer in standard form: 2x minus 7y equals -1, and that follows all 3 rules of standard form. And then for number 35, I looked and saw that it said perpendicular line instead of parallel, which means that it will be a negative reciprocal. So the first thing that I did was identify what the negative reciprocal of that slope would be, which is -1/4. And then again, I used point slope form, and I plugged in this point to get y minus 1 equals -1/4, and then in parentheses x minus 4, and then I distributed the -1/4 into the parentheses. I got y minus 1 equals -1/4x plus 1, and then I had to add this one to both sides to get it into slope intercept form, which was y equals -1/4x plus 2. And then I had to use that to convert it into standard form, which I really should have labeled, so I'm sorry about that. And the first thing I had to do was get rid of the fraction, so I had to multiply everything by 4, and then I had to add 1x to both sides to get x plus 4y equals 8, and that's standard form final answer.